You want chaos? Cleveland gave us calm. The Browns lose to the Jets, 27-20, drop to 2-7. Fans scream for Shedeur Sanders, and the team quietly says, "We're sticking with Dillon Gabriel." That's the story. It's the kind of stubborn move that makes Twitter combust and front offices sweat. It's also the sort of decision that says more about process than panic. Here's what actually happened, why people are furious, and what the Browns are trying to buy with patience. Dillon Gabriel finished the game 17 of 32 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not a romantic stat line, but at least he didn't throw any interceptions. The other number that tells the real story, 6 sacks for 47 lost yards. That second stat is less about Gabriel and more about the offensive line melting down in front of him. You can forgive a young QB some timing and misreads. You can't forgive a pocket that disappears every other drop back. The tape from MetLife was miserable on that front. Fans notice the immediate fix they want, bench the guy who keeps getting mauled, and roll the dice on Shedeur Sanders. The message in the replies was mostly the same. Just play Shedeur. Nothing to lose. Do it now. That's emotionally obvious. Losing breeds impatience. When your team is 2-7, the crowd's patience evaporates and the scoreboard gets loud. But let's parse the Browns' reply. Kevin Stefanski didn't dance around it. After the loss, he said plainly, "We're going to stick with Dillon." He doubled down on Gabriel's preparation and temperament. "He's a very intelligent young man," Stefanski said, and framed the decision as trust earned in practice. That's the language of development. It's the difference between a franchise that trades for a quick fix and one that wants to find long-term answers in-house. It's also political. Changing starters publicly every week looks chaotic. Staying put looks purposeful. Which one resonates depends on whether you value immediate results or a plan. Now the reality check. Why do fans want Sanders? He's a flashy pick with upside and a famous name. You draft a kid with his skill set because you hope he's the future. Sitting a rookie behind a shaky starter when the season is slipping away feels inexplicable to supporters. There's a simple psychology here. A rookie's debut is theater, and theater fuels the narrative that something is being done. Fans want action. The front office wants evidence, but evidence lives in practice reps and medical checks and film study, things the public rarely sees in real time. Coaches watch the mental reps. They watch command of the huddle, pre-snap checks, how a guy handles pressure on the sidelines. That's what Stefanski's comments were trying to sell. Gabriel's day-to-day growth is real, and the team thinks the best path to competent quarterback play is continuity, not panic. Still, the game tape matters. 6 sacks in a game isn't a blip. It's a trend indicator. It says the run blocking isn't working, the pass protection calls are ugly, and the offense does not give the QB time. Those are solvable problems via coaching adjustments, line rotations, or personnel moves, but they're not solved in an afternoon. And here's the brutal arithmetic. You can put Shedeur in on Sunday and in front of the same offensive line, get basically the same result. A different QB doesn't automatically fix a broken front. A different QB might, though, bring playmaking that disguises protection issues for a few series. That's the gamble fans are asking for. Let's talk risk. Sticking with Gabriel buys you 2 things: credibility for your coaching staff and a shot at ironing out fundamentals without flipping the roster on a whim. It also keeps the team from accelerating a rebuild by trading the rookie before he's had a real shot. The counter risk. If you stay loyal and results don't improve, your margin for firing or rebuilding shrinks. The narrative becomes, "We stuck with the wrong guy." Both paths have reputational costs. And what about on-field strategy? If the Browns truly want to test either signal, progress or we're done, do the small things first. Simplify the play calls, call more quick release passes, use motion and screens to mitigate the pass rush, and ramp up max protect packages in short yardage situations. If Gabriel is the bridge needs armor. If Sanders is the audition, build schemes that let a rookie process with fewer moving parts. Simple reads, play action off easy runs, and a reduced pre-snap burden. Either way, the point of the next 2 weeks isn't just who starts. It's whether the staff can show purposeful adjustments. There's also the optics with the locker room and the rest of the roster. Coach Stefanski vouching publicly for Gabriel is a signal to his players. We're not flinching. That can shore up a locker room's confidence in a chaotic season, or it can create quiet grumblings if teammates believe change is needed. The coach's job is to manage both the X's and the people. Publicly sticking with Gabriel is an attempt at steady leadership. Privately, the staff has to deliver on practical fixes so that steady face looks wise the next time they speak. Now for the fan side reality. The emotional ledger often trumps the rational one. Fans don't sit through practice reps, they sit through losses. A 2-7 ledger is an emotional acid bath, and the natural reaction is to demand immediate spectacle. Shedeur Sanders carries that spectacle like a neon sign. Coaches trade spectacle for process all the time. The question is whether the trade earns results. Right now, nobody knows. So where does this go from here? Short answer, watch the next game plan. If the Browns keep Gabriel and the protection improves, if quick passes and schemed rollouts decrease sack numbers and the offense shows pocket rhythm, the stick with Gabriel narrative wins momentum. If the line continues to implode and nothing changes fundamentally, the play Shedeur argument will shift from fan outrage to front office inevitability. Here's the sober bottom line. Quarterback change is sexy, but instability kills development. The Browns are betting on continuity and process. The fans are betting on urgency and spectacle. Both have merit. This season will test which approach the league rewards more. The patient grind of a coaching staff trying to grow a young starter, or the dramatic swing that hopes one high upside rookie can flip the script overnight. And the final line, because you want something that sticks. The Browns just gave their fans an answer they didn't want to hear. Keep the current plan. Fans will boo, Twitter will blow up, and the pressure will only mount. But in football, pressure either cracks things or forges them. Now we watch to see which it does in Cleveland. What do you do when a season starts to feel less like promise and more like a question mark? You don't whisper, you shout, you point, you pick. And in Cleveland, the shout this week sounded like a city asking for something new, Shedeur Sanders, while the team handed the ball to the familiar face of Dillon Gabriel. Picture it, MetLife Stadium, a dull November light, cardboard and hope folded into the stands. The scoreboard reads Jets 27, Browns 20. The game flashes. A handful of good throws, a pile of sacks, a drive that died in turf. Fans file out and their phones light up like memorial candles. Tweets, clips, the inevitable chorus of a play Shedeur. It's loud online and louder in the gut of a franchise that has been chasing answers all season. Dillon Gabriel is the guy the Browns picked to learn, to grow, to step in when the moment demanded. He's a third-round pick, an Oregon kid who spent the year tracing the rhythms of the pro game. Practice reps, notebook pages, incremental improvement. On Sunday, he completed 17 of 32 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Clean on turnovers, imperfect under pressure, and perhaps the stat that stung the most, 6 sacks, 47 yards lost. That's the kind of number that echoes in locker rooms. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders sits in the background of that drama like a lightning bolt you can't look away from. A name that conjures pedigree, hype, and the intoxicating idea of what if. Fans lit up timelines with pleas, put him in, see what you have, stop the bleeding. The calls were raw and honest and impatient, the language of modern fandom when hope wants a decision right now. Head coach Kevin Stefanski's answer was not a dramatic mic drop. It was, in its own way, a vote. We're going to stick with Dillon, he said after the game. A short sentence that carries 1,000 rationales. Development, continuity, trust, schedule. The raw reality that quarterbacks don't magically solve team problems. It's the kind of decision that inflames people who want action and comforts people who prefer process. So here's the thing to remember. This is not a simple contest of popularity versus logic. It's a collision of storytelling forces. On one side, you have a rookie protected by a narrative arc, the training montage, the patient climb. On the other, you have a spark, Shedeur, whose name alone suggests immediacy. Fans see the spark as a cure. Coaches see the spark as an experiment with consequences. What the camera didn't catch during the broadcast were the private conversations that make all of this complicated. Shot caller coaches whisper film room caveats, blitz pickups, offensive line growth, third down percentages, protection calls. They weigh the intangible, leadership presence, locker room chemistry, with the tangible completion percentage, sacks, dropbacks. That's why a coach's statement usually sounds like a pea beneath many shells. We're sticking with Dillon is less a swipe at Shedeur and more a statement of timeline. This is how we believe we get better over months, not minutes. Let's be frank about what the moment exposes. The Browns are 2-7 and patience runs thin when the record reads like a litany. Fans are emotionally taxed. Social media transforms let's see into do it now. That's the context for the chorus demanding a change. It's less about Dillon as a human and